Well, thank you very much for that nice introduction. I sure appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's session. I'm one of the later ones in the day, which is kind of refreshing. You've perhaps been through a lot of seminars today, and I hope this one is going to be very interesting for you. It'll be high-paced. You may want to be ready to take some notes, and I think you'll like what you see. First of all, on my screen, I'm going to go through all the different components here because this is about how to trade the U.S. stock index with extreme precision. Now, how do you like the last couple days? Wow, what a rock and roll hurricane, huh? It's just amazing. And welcome to the casino, you know. So we consider ourselves here at my Day Traders Action Incorporated, we consider ourselves blue collar workers. We're not automated traders. We don't use systems. We have systems that we use to trade, but I consider ourselves to be blue collar workers. Good old fashioned, go in, find the right setup, buy the dip, and make the trade for 3 to 4 scalps on the, we use the NASDAQ for the intraday trading, and I have a 1 trade a day system that I use for my daily directional forecast, which is a newsletter I've been publishing 14 years. More about that in a minute. But on our 1 trade a day ES system, in the last 14 weeks, we're up 550% on margin. Now that's not a typo or a voice error, that's 550% on margin. Now we use a conservative $1,000 per contract for ES per day. Now the margin for ES can go as low as some firms as down to $300, so I'm being conservative when I say 550% return on margin in the last 14 weeks. And that's all documented in our daily directional forecast. But before we get started, let me ask you a couple questions here. What I found in 25 years of trading and working with thousands of traders, this is astounding, but I ask them, what do you want from trading? Besides money and to make money, what do you really want from trading? What do you want to do in this business? This is a wide, vast business. You saw our previous presenter has an excellent algorithm system, apparently. That's what I didn't catch all the presentation for trading Forex. That's a whole different type of style. You have people that buy and trade swing trades during the market. You have people that buy and trade stocks and ETFs. But what do you want from trading? What do you want to do? What do you see as yourself doing in trading? So first ask yourself that. Now I'd like to know, how many of you would like to make your trading a lot easier? That's right, I'm sure that's a majority of you. How many of you wish you could know exactly where the market was going the next day before the opening bell with a great degree of accuracy? Now, a lot of you there might be going, whoa, 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 nobody knows that, and that's still considered impossible by Wall Street. I'll show you in a minute that I've proven that to be wrong 14 years ago and up to today. How many of you wish you knew how to read the market like a book? Well, believe it or not, I'm going to show you how to do that today. You're not going to be able to go and read the market like a book tomorrow, most likely, unless you come in our trading room and work with me, and I'll show you exactly where everything's going. And that's an option for you, that you can email me if you're interested in joining the room for a few weeks or a month. And my address is mohan@daytradersaction.com. But anyway, my daily directional forecast, which is what I was talking about, the return on the ES, is right here. Now, we're big fans of NinjaTrader. I'm a partner with them, so I'm a big advocate of NinjaTrader. It helped me to develop my Boomerang Trader, which is the charting patterns you see on here, and I'll go over that in a minute. But first of all, our daily directional forecast, like I said, has been being published for 14 years in a row, and each and every day I tell our thousands of traders exactly where the market's going the next day, long before the opening bell. That's right. I tell traders exactly where the market's going before the opening bell, and I usually do this 8 to 12 hours before the market opens. Here was a call, you can see the date here, on October 7th. The call, I always post a chart, so there's no BS and there's no fudging on anything. I post a chart with the call on it from the previous day, which was, our directional forecast was, I did it about 8 hours before the market opened on the 7th. The market force underlying bias was neutral to bullish, watching for some continuation to the upside with a mid-AM, in other words, in the middle of the morning, stalling at the highs and a slight pullback, looking for prices to hold the middle of the day's range to confirm more bullish bias. Well, this was right as this heavy volatility started getting going recently. This is just a couple days ago. And in the briefing, I said it was a double-sided trade to sell today at 1272 area, which means usually within a point or so from that price. Again, I'm putting this out 8 to 12 hours before the market opens. And I had a second level, which was to buy the 1950 area within a point or so for it to go long. The market gapped up. Here's the 10 o'clock time, so a couple of candles. This is a 10-minute chart. The market gapped up and hit 1971 on the highs, 1 point from our lows. So our traders went short for a huge downside move. And then later in the session, you can see the exact low was 1950 half, and our call was to buy the 1950 area. So within a point of that, and so there was two 10-point ES moves called 12 hours, 8 to 12 hours, I forget exactly, in advance. And the market followed our exact script. It gapped up higher for that early higher continuation, then a pullback, and then the one part where I was wrong on was closing in the center of the range. Well, not far off, because the center of the range, 50 to 70 is 30 points, so 65 would have been the center of the opening range, the center of the range. Well, let's see, around 55, so I was about right. Anyway, it was just one call out of, let me show you this. We go over here to the archives. Now, I do this every single day for 14 years in a row. So the first lesson on today's class here today is show up for work every day. I know that may sound like kind of simplistic, but guess what? I have so many traders, they have a successful day. I don't hear from them for a couple days. They go to the beach. They go to the golf course. They hit the road. Boy, that's it, man. I love trading. No. Just put the past behind you. Come back and come to work every day. Here's me every day so far, 2014. Every single one of these represents a call like the one you just saw. It may have not been as accurate or as a double-sided, but I'll show you in a second. We're running about 80 to 90% accuracy in our daily directional forecast. Now, here's the fun part. That's 2014. Here's 2013, 12, 11, 10, going all the way back. If I go back to 2003, you'll see the exact same thing. And this was the period before the markets start getting heavily rigged by the Federal Reserve and the algorithm predators. And for many of you who don't know, they quietly slipped it under the radar. Rule 575 was implemented about 3 weeks ago, absolutely banning and making illegal, including, shockingly, the central banks of rigging fines. If they rig the markets, they get fined. There's heavy fines if people start spoofing the market with algorithm programs or rigging the markets. This was 2003. You can see every single day showing up to work after crunching my numbers for 2 to 3 hours a night and telling traders exactly where the market's going to go. And it goes all the way back to 2002. So I've been doing this quite a long time, and all that means is that, if anything, I'm a hard worker and I'm doing my best to help traders. So we have helped a lot of traders with our services, and I present these every day in the markets. Now, here was a historic study, just the last part of this here, that was done, an audited study back in 2010, going back over 1,159 briefings, very meticulously and carefully, and the auditors showed it in this sense. Lime sessions were extremely accurate, multi-level calls like the one I just showed you from a few days ago. Green sessions were highly accurate calls with one level type calls. The yellow sessions were 50% accurate, where I said the market's going to bounce in the morning and pull back and then bounce again, and maybe it bounced in the morning, pulled back, and then sunk lower or just hung out in the neutral area. That's a yellow session. Pretty darn accurate, about 50%. Red are just absolutely incorrect. My call for today was incorrect. I said they were going to be more bullish, run up early, hang up near the highs, then pull back later. Well, they ran up a little bit, went crazy. Draghi came out. Of course, that always influences the market when one of the central banker fellows speaks, and everything went nuts to the downside later. I stood aside most of today, by the way. I just, frankly, when it gets that volatile, we're scalpers, you know, I mean, in the sense of going in, a blue-collar worker goes in, and I put on a trade, boom, I want to get short right here. I'll show you this in a minute, and I want to hold a 2 to 3 point stop, and I want to go down. Well, today, when the market gets this volatile, you get short, they zip up 5 points, they come back to your entry and zip down 10 points, and you're just sitting there going, why did I even trade? You know, too volatile. Anyway, that's a side issue. Here was the audited study. The lime sessions showed most of the pie. The green sessions yellow. So overall 77% on the audit, perfect or near perfect market calls. So much for nobody knows where the market's going the next day. We've proven that to be incorrect. Wall Street keeps pushing that because they need you to pretend or feel that it's a mystery, even though they, in most cases, the insiders, know where it's going because it's being designed for them to know just that. Anyway, the point is, the market, you can follow our service and you can know where the market's going. We have my Boomerang Day Trader, which I recently enhanced after 5 years of being the same price of $11.95, which is a screaming deal for the top selling service on NinjaTrader. Our Boomerang Day Trader has for over 5 years been one of the top selling day trading systems on NinjaTrader, and there's over 200 vendors on there. So it's not easy to be the top #1 selling software or near the top, one of the top, they like me to say, but frankly, I've talked to many of the executives there. We've sold more than anybody. Why? Not because I'm so brilliant or anything. I'm just a trading designer. I'm a blue-collar worker. I just want to go in there and scalp my money, but because it works. And most of our sales come from traders who refer their friends. So, that's why it got so popular and is still more popular. With my recent updates to Boomerang Day Trader, what I call Ultra Boomerang, it is mind-blowing. And I'm going to show you something real quickly. You won't find very many systems that do this, but let me show you something. In the Boomerang Day Trader, which you see right here, of course, the candles, we use 450 tick candles, which this didn't come from me just saying I want to use ticks and he wants to use Renkos and he wants to use bars. No, this was over a year of intense live trading and research in the markets to come up with 450 ticks. I didn't want to use 450 ticks at first. I kept saying, oh, no, please not that. And it kept coming back to being the best and the most accurate way for our system to trade the markets. And again, we're going in and we're looking to scalp 2 to 3 points on a trade, sometimes 4 to 5, just depends on the setup. And we're blue collar workers. Here's your assignment. Mohan says we're going to go in, we're going to scalp this price. I'll give a live call during our trading room sessions for those who want to join. Give me an email at mohan@daytradersaction.com. I'll set you up. I go in and say, get short here at the market. Boom, now, short. We get short. I'd look to see that trade hold a couple of points, stop, and then if we're short, down they go. When that thing hits 3 points, we're out. We don't sit around and wait for these big moves. However, built into Boomerang Day Trader are what I call the dynamic trend bands. Now, when the dynamic trend bands match color, what we do is our trade channel opens up, marked by this arrow, and we trade a pullback to the signal line, which is crystal clear, alarmed, and fixed on these charts forever once it occurs. You could go back 1 year and see the same dot posted on the same spot in the chart as was the day it was out live. We grab that trade at the signal line when the dynamic trend bands match, and up they go for 3 points. We scalp 3 points. They may go 10. They may go 3.5, they may go 275, and if you're a trader and you're absolutely convinced the market's watching all your trades and going right up to your stop and knocking it out, then coming back to your entry and going the way you want it to go, you know the market's watching it. It's watching me too, so don't feel alone. We see this in the room every day. We kind of joke about it because it is kind of a joke, but the market just has a way of doing that. But the point is, we look for that 3-point gain. We watch for next trade. Now I want to show you a new thing which is built into Ultra Boomerang. It's absolutely amazing. Now, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but watch this. Just all I want you to do is watch these two. See these magenta lines? One's dash and dot. One is solid. This is the fast line, slow line of the dynamic trend bands newly configured for Ultra Boomerang. When they cross over, watch what happens to the markets. Now, I don't even know what day I'm on here in the chart. I just went to this one chart. Here they are crossing, right? Swoosh to the downside. Here they are crossing here, right? Swoosh, big move to the upside. Continuation to the upside. They're still holding. Here they are crossing right here. See the dynamic trend bands are crossing right here. Look at this. Huge, massive move to the downside. Notice they're still matching the same color. This red one in between we call the Cobra. That's a different issue altogether, which I can explain to you, or we have a lot of video tutorials on the site. They're still matching, but they've crossed, but they're still matching, so the downside is still active. Colors match, up they go for another scalp. The market still wanted to go lower, so look what happens. They match color again here. There's another crossover, the dynamic trend bands, the dashed dotted line to the downside, and another heavy hammering to the downside. I think this is today's. I'm not sure exactly. Here they are crossing over again right here. Another move to the upside, but that downside still wants to assert itself, right? They go back here again, still no color match, but here they are, color match and crossing over, and another giant squash to the downside. Here they are crossing over again right here, and a huge move to the upside. There is no trading program I've ever seen, and trust me, I've been looking for 25 years, that has such an accurate method of calculating huge market moves on exact crystal clear crossovers. You want some more? Here's another one, crossover right here, the dynamic trend band, the newly configured ultra dynamic trend band, and a huge smash, gigantic smash to the downside. The bands are still matching color. Here they match, and the pullback signal line, and it screams higher for another scalp. No match here. Notice this? No match here. Slight little blinking match, but they've already crossed, so the bias is going to be to the upside. Yeah, they react to the downside, but the colors match again here. You see that right in here? And the market screams to the upside. Crossover here, and now we're getting in the final hour, so things are going to get a little choppier, but still there's a crossover. Prices get hit to the downside, another crossover. They scream higher into the close. I went through the whole session, didn't I? Look at that. And into the final 20 minutes of trading, the dynamic trend bands cross and another big smash to the downside. So I just went through that. You know what? Looking back, that was today's session. I didn't even know that. I honestly didn't know that. I can go scroll back 30 days on my chart here, but that was today's session. I just went through every single dynamic trend band cross today, marked a major move in the market, and all you had to do when the dynamic trend bands match is trade these yellow pullbacks to the signal line on the short side, scalp them out, and trade the blue dots on the long side when they match, scalp them out here. You can trade pullbacks to the dynamic trend bands to trade back into the trend. You can see big move down here after a crossover. They ramped them back right up exactly to the dynamic trend band number 2 and hammered them down lower with everything still matching color. There was a trade signal marker here, but you could actually have just taken the pullback to the signal line or the dynamic trend band number 2. We have various methods, very simple to use. So in reading the stock index, you're probably wondering about these other things up here. I'll go over those. I just wanted to go over a couple of aspects of Boomerang Day Trader with you. And if you want to learn more, you can go to our blog at boomerangtrader.com. Boomerangtrader.com. And you can see video tutorials and everything about Boomerang. You'll really like it. It's fun. And again, I can get back to that later more. I'm going to watch the clock really carefully now. I did notice, maybe I don't see it here, but Yana, I don't think you put my timing clock up there, and I want to be careful. I know we started about 6:10, if I recall, so I'll keep an eye on it anyway, not to worry. Okay, if you want to learn how to read the market like a book, number one, you need the airplane view, what I call the airplane, the jet airplane view. You ever been in an aircraft and you're flying into your city for landing? And you go, wow, there's my city, and you're way up in that aircraft, and you look down and you go, wow, it's stunning. You know, say you're flying into Chicago, where the heart of our action is here in the CME, and look at the towering buildings in Lake Michigan out there, and in the Gold Coast here. Oh God, it's beautiful. And you're flying in the aircraft, and you got this huge view of the city, and you can see, gee, I think I live over in that area. That's probably over the area I live or whatever. Now, that's an airplane view. That is our daily directional forecast, which is calling the exact underlying bias of the market. The second level is that what I call the helicopter view, and that brings us over here to what I call the high five. The high five, which are shown in my site, that site I showed you earlier with the daily directional forecast, it's described in detail there. You can get a free report on that, or just, once again, my default email is mohan@daytradersaction.com. If you have any questions or want to look at any of the stuff I'm showing you here, we have all kinds of free resources where you can learn all about things I'm showing you, because that's what it's all about, helping traders to become winning traders. But remember now, we're blue-collar workers. We're scalpers in the sense that we're looking for 2 to 3 points. on a trade, 2 to 3 to 4, maybe 5 in some cases, and we're out. And we don't care if it goes 10 more. Some people think, oh, I want to get the whole thing. Well, that's not us. We're blue collar workers. I'm assigned to go in when I get a trade signal. For example, I'll show you, like a channel opens up here. See this channel open up here, signal by this. When I get a signal on the signal line right here, this yellow dot, my assignment is to trade that signal line, maybe the second one, get in that trade and make sure that trade holds within my parameters and get out when I get a 5-point thing. When the market gives me a gift and it hammers them right down there and I get out with 5 points, my job is done. I don't think twice about or cry or worry or pound the table or anything if they go all the way down here. I don't care. I really don't, because my job here is when this new trade channel opens, and this is a little bit of a fat channel, so you want to get a little lower pullback. I buy them in here on the signal line, and they run up to here and give me 3 to 5 points. That's it for me. I don't care if they screen 5, 6 points higher. Doesn't bother me at all. It wasn't my assignment. My job wasn't to buy them here and hold for the biggest move I could. It was to scalp my 3 to 5 points, and to do that 6, 7, 8, 10 times a day. That's a nice living, and it's a lot of fun too if you get into it, but it's challenging for sure. Anyway, quickly back to the high five. Here's what I call the high five. It's a very simple way to read the tape of the market, what's called the tape. Now, if you ever watch Art Cashin, the famous older floor trader and manager, desk manager, who's on CNBC, he was on there a lot today because the market was getting hammered. They wanted to know what he had to say about it. You must know who I'm talking about. Art, you always notice when they're interviewing, he's always looking up. He's looking over a little to the side or looking up if he's in his usual position. He's looking up at the big board. And what I've done is simplified that, and I call it the high five, and simply condensed it into a very simple thing. You got the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and then we ask, is the composite index, which is the second component, fading or following the Dow? This is what we do all day long. I'm just glancing up at this and looking at the percentages. That's why this is just a quote chart, a quote box. They call it a quote chart or a quote box. And you just list these primary indexes: Dow Jones Industrial, Composite Index, the Trend, Transportation Index, which they used to call the trannies for many, many years, decades down the floor, but I don't think it's politically correct to call it that anymore, so we call it the Transportation Index. And then the advanced decline line here, which is the advancing issues minus the declining issues equals the $ADD, or the advanced decline line here. Now, these symbols tend to vary on each data vendor, but if you compare, you take the Dow as a core thing, what everybody calls the market, and you ask yourself what the composite is doing, what the trend is, the trend following or fading. Now, a heavy trend is 1.30 or higher. That's going to weigh on the market. You can see today on the slam today, there's constantly trading above 130, especially towards the last couple hours. Then you have the transportation index, which often is a front runner. Most traders don't know this, and you old timers probably know this. Some of you old timers, I mean, those of you who've been around 15 years plus, it's pretty amazing, but check it out. The transportation index will often be a front-running signal well in advance of the rest of the market. I noticed that this morning. The Dow was down early this morning, 0.40%, I think. The composite was down about 0.37. Transportation was double, down 0.84. I went, the market's going lower. Even if they bounce here, there's weight on the market because of that transportation index. Check it out over the next few days on your screen. You'll be amazed to see how much the transportation is can front run that. And you didn't even have to join my room and pay me to figure that out. I gave it to you free here in this lesson today. Very important, very wonderful, and a free, easy source for knowing where the market's going in advance. Advanced decline ratio, here's what I use as a ratio. And again, you can learn more about this at mohansmarketforce.com. Or you can go to daytradersaction.com. I've got 3 sites. I don't want to sound confusing here, but I got my blog. I got my publisher for the Daily Direction Forecast I've been with for 14 years is a separate company. And then we have our Day Traders Action, where you can find everything. So if you go to daytradersaction.com, you can click there and find the Mohan's Market Force site and just look up the high 5 and it'll tell you the levels. The levels on the ADD, the advanced decline line, Positive 0 to like plus 800 issues is kind of neutral. Plus 1200 is bullish. Plus 1500 or more is mega bullish. And on the reverse, minus 800 is getting pretty neutral, getting kind of bearish. Minus 1200 issues or more is bearish. Minus 1500 more, mega bearish. That market, if they get down minus 1500, good luck recovering. It'll happen sometimes, but then they get below 1500, they're going to smash that market. And today, this is one of the hugest ADD line deficits I've seen. Just smashed. Look at that gold rallying. I was telling our subscribers in the room last Thursday, Friday, and Monday, I said, I'm going down and I'm buying silver today. And I sure did. And it looks like we caught the bottom or maybe near it if they keep bouncing. But this is a very rigged market. The central bankers don't like us buying gold because it's real wealth. They'd rather sell us their Euro FX currencies and all these kind of fake money, dollars. All of a sudden we're getting a big dollar rally, right? Gee, what a coincidence. They've been slamming in the dollar for 10 years. Nobody talked about it in CNBC. It was like the evil, nobody, don't even talk about the dollar. It was all getting bashed, 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 bashed. And now when the BRICS countries form their own central bank, this is all being kept way under the radar, except in those countries. BRICS, B-R-I-C-S stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They all contribute 50 billion plus to this fund, and they're funding their own central bank and doing their own trades with their own products. Keep in mind how that could affect the dollar pretty soon. Gee, right when they formed that approximately a month or so ago, it's been in the works for a while. Gee, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, after 10 years of heavy dollar bashing, we get this massive dollar rally. So I'm not trying to do anything but just hint to you that you might want to consider that these markets are heavily manipulated, and our job, again, as blue-collar workers, we can still trade them as long as we're allowed to, is to go in there, use the right charting equipment, and understand the markets to be able to trade these things like a true blue-collar worker, if that's the style you wish to employ. If you want to do that, you can, like I said, join in my room with me. Just email me at Mohan at Day Traders Action. Come on in the room and we'll make some money every day and have some fun. The third element, remember you have the airplane view. This is the helicopter view. Now the difference in flying from the airport, looking down in your city, and flying around in a helicopter, you see a lot more what's going on in the street. This is like a helicopter view of the markets here, and a street view. This is more like a street view, and more of a helicopter view is when you use the higher time frames in the market. Now again, you came in this webinar and you want to know how to trade the US stock indexes with extreme precision on the futures. I'm giving you the whole enchilada here. It may seem a little complex, but it's really easy once you get to learn all this stuff. And if you go into denial and you shut down and you only want some simple chart pattern like boomerang to trade, we have that for you. And you can just use boomerang and do very, very well. But all I'm trying to give you is the information you need if you decide to go completely pro. You have the underlying bias of our daily directional forecast. You have the higher time frames, which is the 5-minute chart, 13, 30, 60, and 135. I have a special algorithms charting pattern that I run on all those, and I report to our subscribers every day in the room. The higher time frames are all turning one-sided. Well, that market, when the higher time frames turn one-sided, you're not going to get much of anything but a down. If they say they're all turning one-sided on the downside, that probably started occurring right after this bounce. They turned a little bit higher in neutral. Right in here, all the higher time frame, the 5, the 13, 30, all joined forces. All those ducks were in line, and there was nothing you could do to get that market to bounce. Any trades on the long side were just pretty much going to get stopped out. Finally, when they got hammered out a little, there was a little bit of bouncing going on here, and then they go right back to the downside. Now, of course, as I showed you earlier, our dynamic trend bands will lead that direction of the market for you, and it'll show you where to get in. And but again, that's where the higher time frames come to play. A professional charting program like Boomerang Day Trader, and a lot of guts, a lot of courage, and a lot of working on your ego to not be a trading know-it-all and just go in there and let the market tell you where it wants to go. and work with things that Jeff's really definitely work in the market, and you can be successful. The next element I want to show you is you need this too, and that is you need to know where the volume is. It surprises me how many traders don't know why the volume's important. That's like getting in a brand new car you just bought and ignoring the gas meter. Brand new Ferrari, you're driving around, boy, you're hot stuff, right? And you just so in love with your car and everybody's checking you out and the girls are looking at you and you're going, oh, I love this deal here. You forget to look at the gas tank, the meter there, it says empty, and now you're driving down a long road and the car clunk, 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 clunk. It's not working anymore. You forgot to look at the gas meter. Excuse me. So this is obviously right now it's very slow. Let me show you what an active typical day. This, the NASDAQ's our baby. That's what we trade for scalping and blue collar scalping. We have our ES one trade a day system from the daily directional forecast, which I showed you. Again, up 550% on margin in the last approximately 14 weeks. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 2 lost trades out of the last 12 in the last month and a half, and then going back about another month or so, same thing. So tremendous return, just going in one time a day for a small swing of up 3 to 10 points, depending on what the market gives us. Here's the volume meter here. All this is here's the volume per, it's a 1 minute chart. You can use this on gold or crude oil, anything you want, ES. And this is the 1 minute volume happening here, marking green and red candles. All of the programs usually have this, whether you're using TradeStation or eSignal or Kinetic, which is NinjaTrader. Just fantastic. Lowest price too. Love NinjaTrader. That's how I developed my Boomerang Day Trader and how it's grown so fast, because I had the ability to use NinjaTrader to build this. And I got a brilliant programmer who helps me, and it's just been great. But getting back to the volume here, don't mind, I tend to flip around a little bit. It's just because I'm so active every day doing my Mohan squawk box, and there's always so much that we're analyzing. But the point is, you have here this called a VOLMA, V-O-L-M-A. They may call it different things. This is what it's called in NinjaTrader, volume moving average. We run a 4-period moving average in the volume. As long as it's generally trading over this 700 mark level on mini NASDAQ, that's going to be a very active market. When it dropping down, today was nuts. It was so active, you can see here, absolutely insanely active. But when it starts dropping down under the magenta line here, which is the mark of about 300 average contracts, it's no big deal. It's still active and easily able to scalp and trade the thing. That's not a problem at all. I messed up the chart here a little bit, but that's okay. There it is. Anyway, when the volume shrinks down to under 300, you can still trade. If it gets under 200, then it gets a little quiet. But you got to know, have this available, just glance at it, make sure the volume's active. And then down here we have I kind of messed this up. I flicked on something and it got messed up, so not to worry. But the point is down here we also have the ADX by the brilliant Wells Wilder. You can read about the ADX, and that's pretty much tells us the strength of a trend that's moving. Again, somehow I clicked on something here and messed it up, and I'll have to fix it later. So for now, just forget about it. But you can go on our site and learn exactly how to build a volume meter for your charts too. Very simple. Just keep it tucked over in the corner and just glance at it. Make sure the volume's nice, strong, just like the gas meter on a car. So with that in mind, those are the key elements to becoming a successful stock index trader. Now there's 2 other things, and I don't want to complicate it too much here. I know it's already a little bit complex, some of the things I've been showing you for many of you, some of you not. And congratulations if that's the case. But if you're a new trader, let me show you something here. What we also use when I'm in my live Day Traders Action Live trading room is we measure. These are the only 2 things you need to know other than what I just showed you to complete your expertise. The rest is all skill development in using them, and that is Elliott wave patterns and Fibonacci numbers. Now I use the most basic form of that, and I saw this form today, This is a perfect Elliott wave pattern. Now watch this. Wave 1, wave 2 pullback, wave 3 higher thrust. Wave 2 was very simple. So that means watch out for wave 4 pullback to be more complex, which this was. They finally caught support, and a wave 5 thrust washout to the upside. Then you get a counter move of A, B, and then C to the downside to reverse the thing. A lot of people will measure wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll get short and they go, all right, here we go. And then they get stopped out because they don't understand that Elliott's basic theory was after wave 5, you get an A, B, C. Then if you can, which is what we do in the room, we try to catch and get short on those, in this case, an uptrend, short on that B wave, and then hold out. In most cases, I will hold out in those type of setups if we catch it right for a 8 to 10 type point move. And if they like this one, just keep going and going. I don't blink an eye. I don't even think about it. I go, mission accomplished. We shorted the B wave. We caught 10 points down here, and that's fantastic, and that's very wonderful. So that is the essence here. Now let me just go back a little bit. So the other element here too, in fact, while we got this Elliott wave pattern in here, let me show you what I do. I do this in the room all the time, and that is, well, I can see right now it just blew through the Fibonacci thing, but to run a fib number, let's use it here. This will work. Here we are trading, and the market's kind of chopping up and down. Bam, it makes a hard, strong move to the downside. I will often go in and run the fib numbers on that move. Now, right here, you can see where they cross in the dynamic trend band, the price trade under dynamic trend band number 2. That's where I'll draw the fibs here. See that? So we're now taking the measure of this, and it's allowing me to run a roadmap on the prices. Now, I know it gets a lot of lines in here, but it's no big deal once you know how to read them, because you say, okay, now we ran the fib numbers right in here. We put them on right in here when the markets are stabilizing. You can see that they ran right up to the first minor Fibonacci retrace and pulled back. There's a scalp right there for us. I look for an exhaustion level move. I have two types of trades: a boomerang day trader trades, and what I call exhaustion reversals. I keep the method I use for that secret because it's so accurate. A lot of traders are shocked. How did you know that was a high? I catch the top tick and near the top tick all the time on these micro moves. But you can see it ran just above and almost to the first micro retrace, or the first second level retrace move here, and then pulled back. This is a fib number here where they stalled, pulled back. Then they crossed over the fib, then they blew out the pattern a little. I'm just showing you how we use Fibonacci too. Again, when we're in the live action, I've got this all more like this, really wide open, and these lines don't have much effect. All I know is we're getting long, right, because the market's trying to go back up, and I can see where it's going to stop right at these minor retrace levels. Plus we have this, see this orange line is an active moving, it's part of boomerang day trader. It's this dynamic support and resistance levels. Watch as I move the chart. See how when the price go above the orange line, it stays orange and moves up, and as they start coming down below it, it'll change to a white color as prices start going lower. See, nothing really happened until they hit that white line, started trading below it. Then down they went, and the line changed colors all the way down. Anyway, gives you an idea. So these are the ways that a person can learn to trade the markets with extreme precision every day. I offer training in our Day Traders Action Live room, and we have Boomerang available, which pretty much tells you exactly where to trade. It's only $11.95, and a special we're having today for our presentation. And I have two other, I haven't published a whole plethora of indicators, just two extra indicators. One is for measuring Elliott wave. It's called the Hyper Scalp, and the other is called the Precision Trade Guide, which is unbelievable. You lay that on any chart for a stock, an ETF, futures, anything, and it tells you exactly where the market's neutral, bullish, where to buy, where to sell. It's unbelievable. It's called the Precision Trade Guide, And they're only 195 bucks each for Hyperscalp Precision Trade Guide. I'm going to throw those in free if you buy Boomerang Day Trader the next 2 days. Now and over the weekend. I'll throw those in for free. It's a $1,600 value just for my regular price, $11.95. I also run a small private hedge fund, so I make my money in various ways. I don't rely on traders to make a lot of money. We are number one on Ninja Trader, one of the top selling software, and like I said, most of that comes from referrals, and that's why I keep the price really low so that traders can get in there and take advantage. Most cases, using these dynamic trend bands that I showed you, you can make your money back in 1 or 2 days. Then you own Boomerang forever, and you get to hear my dumb jokes and commentary, and my Mohan Squawk Box is live every day at 6:20 or 9:25 every morning, where we analyze the daily directional forecast. If that trade sets up, we go long or short on that, usually within the first hour. And then while we're doing that, we're trading NASDAQ all along the way. And some days are better than others. Some days are really rough. Some days are smooth as silk, and you go, God, why can't trading be like this every day? Well, it can sometimes, but some days are just rougher. It's just the way of the markets. You never know. Never know exactly. I think we're the closest thing possible. I'm the first and only person in the history of the stock market that has ever called the exact direction of the market every day with an 80% accuracy over a 14-year period, getting up every day after crunching those numbers at night and standing out there with the guts to say the market's going to move lower in the morning, catch support and bounce off of this price and rally higher. And then the rally is going to fizzle out mid-session and pull back. It's not just they're going higher today or they're going lower. Anybody can say with that and flip a coin. But to have exact precision calls is something I take a lot of pride in because I work hard for one purpose, to help myself to know where the market's going and to help other traders. It's something I've always loved to do, and I still do. It's a lot of fun. So with that in mind, we're getting close to the, well, let's see, I got about another 20 minutes or so. But again, this is, if you're not interested in scalping the markets, going and working really hard every day and learning how to really, really trade the stock indexes on the futures, this presentation may not have been for you, and that's understandable. But I want to talk about one thing that might piss off some of the traders, and I'm not doing it for that purpose, but I see this all the time. You got to take it from a guy who's been doing this for a long, long time and working with thousands of traders. You got to get over this idea of learning trading on the cheap. I hear this all the time. Give me this free, give me that free, give me that free. Nothing's free. I've had surgeon clients that have subscribed to our service and become excellent traders, and they have told me live, standing face to face in seminars that I did back in the 2004 and 2005, they said what you do as a trader is more difficult than what we do as surgeons. In surgery, we have a general knowledge after so many decades of surgery, what the complications can be, how to react to them. We have a team of people with us, but man, these markets, anything can happen. And today was a classic example of that. So keep in mind, you got to get over these commercials of these goofy little babies on TV going, I got my cell phone and I can trade the markets. And those are the dumbest commercials. I'm sorry. I think it's E-Trade or somebody. I'm just calling them out because get rid of the goofy baby ads. It's not easy to trade, and no goofy little baby can trade. And by putting that in traders' heads, you're making them think, well, God, any goofy little baby can trade. This is a piece of cake. I can do it. I just go around and go to 20 seminars and ask everybody for free information. Listen, I'm just telling you, you're going to lose a lot of money and suffer. You got to get a good education. I just gave you the primary things you need to know to learn how to trade the stock indexes. And if all this seems too complex or, oh my God, and you start going into a denial phase about it, that's okay. I've already given you Boomerang Day Trader where you can accurately trade the markets just using this. But you need to know where the volume's going, and you need to know where these high 5 indexes are rolling in relation to that and the higher time frames. So just keep that in mind. Going on the cheap, I see this all the time. It's not going to work. I have guys emailing me sometimes. They go, well, I got $2,000 in my account, and if you can give me a discount on Boomerang, it kind of pisses me off because I'm thinking Boomerang is the best top #1 seller in the industry. Hello, why do you think that is? Because it works. It's the lowest cost in the industry, and this guy wants a discount, and he's got $2,000 in his account, and he thinks he's going to trade the futures. Now, I can either laugh at him, give him a discount and take his money and watch him get swallowed up by the markets, or I can be a friend and tell him, you need 20,000 bucks in the bank that you don't, if you lose it all, you won't blink an eye. You might squeak a little, but you're not going to lose, any sleep over it really. And you're willing to go in and learn hard and buy the best equipment you can, get the best data vendors, get the best equipment like Boomerang Day Trader, and really, really, really study and learn how to trade the markets. This is as intense as being a surgeon, and once you get to know that and realize that, you'll be able to face the music a lot better. It'll be a lot easier for you. Anyway, with that in mind, I really appreciate it. You can learn more about the work that I do by going to Boomerang Day, boomerangtrader.com. That's kind of a default location where you can sign up for messages from our service, boomerangtrader.com. I've got a short video on there too about the history of trading mathematics, the trading founding fathers of trading, a short video about the history of that. Fibonacci, Gann, Pythagoras, oh my God. Really good stuff there that you can learn a little about the history, a little entertainment while you're learning the trade. I've also got an affirmations video that you can watch, shot from the beautiful jungles of Kauai, Hawaii. You can watch as we soar through the beautiful hidden jungles there that can only be accessed by a helicopter, the soaring music, and my day trading affirmations on there to program yourself to be very positive while you're trading. So again, just go to boomerangtrader.com and you can learn more. So what I'll do now is I'll just kind of go down and scroll down here. If you have any questions, thank you, Raleigh, for posting that, boomerangtrader.com. If you have any questions now on anything I've showed you, I'll be more than happy to answer those. And, as TradingPub says, be like the Fonz. Hey, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything. Anyway, just kidding. So we've got some time left, and if you would like to ask any questions, feel free to ask those now, and I can show you right here on the charts about how it works. I sure appreciate it. Well, as I mentioned, we're running a special on Boomerang Day Trader. I'm getting a lot of inquiries about purchasing Boomerang Day Trader. It's $11.95, which is the same price it's been for 5 years. I haven't even raised the price, even though it's become, once again, the top selling day trading software on NinjaTrader. I haven't bothered to raise the price. Now, how many vendors would have kept the price the same, even though they're #1? Anyway, sorry, you guys. $11.95, and I'm going to throw in my 2 highly precision add-on indicators, which you don't necessarily need to trade Boomerang, but they're free anyway on the special from this presentation with our friends at TradingPub. $11.95, Hyperscalp, free, Precision Trade Guide, free, and both those are on the blog. You can learn more about them. They're free if you purchase Boomerang Day Trader between now and over the weekend. Give you a couple days if you need it. Right there on the boomerangtrader.com, it says purchase Boomerang. Here you can see the purchase link right there. Good question, Bobby, about counting Elliott Wave on Hyperscalp. I just happen to have Hyperscalp shrunk down here. I don't keep it up in the room because we don't track it. Things are going so fast, I'm just calling out trades. I'll show you what Hyperscalp looks like. Where was that Elliott Wave pattern we had before? Here it is. Look at this. Bobby just asked an excellent question. I'm going to show you. Here's Hyperscalp down here, so let's just focus on that. Here's wave 1. Remember when I showed you this a few minutes ago, this Elliott Wave pattern? Here's wave 1. Here's Hyperscalp measuring it. I'm going to switch real quickly to a cursor because we got some time. That's why I left a lot of time for questions. I like to help the traders, not just talk a lot here. Anyway, Here's the first thrust up, and notice the slight change in color. The bias is still bullish. Slight change in color. Here's the fourth, or wave one. Here's wave two pullback. Notice a red change in color, wave two. Here's the restart of wave three moving up. It hits the exhaustion peak up here. Slight color change, suggesting that it will get a pullback. Color change occurs, red change, complex, wave four. And then as wave five shoots up again, it starts right here. It's all measured on Hyperscalp. It actually measures it for you. And as the prices shoot up into what I call like a washout higher move, everything's just tapping on the exhaustion level up here until they peter out. And then you can even see it measures A pattern down, B pattern up, and here, right here, you can see where it peaks at a very low level. This is a sign of momentum fizzling out here. Very clear sign of momentum fizzling out right up here near the highs, and down they come. And then Hyperscalp, look at that. The bias, if you look at this larger dot line, notice how it stays red all the way down until there's this slight little inflection to the upside, turns red again. So it measures along with our other bias indicators all the way down. So that's how Hyperscalp works. Here's a mini attempt at a wave five, but it fizzles out after wave three. Wave one, slight pullback, wave two, and notice right here when the momentum dies, the color changes and down they go. So that's free. It's an add-on that isn't required, but it's free if you purchase Boomerang Day Trader now, and wait till you see the Precision Trade Guide. It's mind-blowing. It's so accurate. I get a lot of comments on that, and always great to hear from the traders about that. It's yours free if you purchase Boomerang now. You can get that at boomerangtrader.com. There's a little section there that says purchase Boomerang now. I have ongoing tutorials. There's 16 of them on there now, and I'm building up new tutorials with the Ultra Boomerang, which I showed you, and it's just fantastic. I'm building up new tutorials, and we're getting everything set up for rolling that out more and more. Again, just introduced it about 2 weeks ago, and just so I can show you that again, I'm looking to see if we've got any questions. Everybody seems a little bit, maybe perhaps exhausted from the long day of webinars and everything, and it's been a lot of fun doing this one later here in the session. I got about another 10 minutes. What I'd like to show you, I'm going to just scroll back on this chart randomly. I don't know where I'm going to stop. Let's go to some opening period. Well, let's see. How about this day? Looks like a pretty nice volatile day. This was, 10-6. Let's go back a little further. Heaven forbid. That was before all this insane volatility we've had lately. Let's go back a little further. Here's a nice day here. All I want to do is, this is a good one here. I want to show you the dynamic trend bands again. It wasn't just a special chart. That was today's chart I showed, John. It caught every swing move, the dynamic trend. Let me show them to you again. On a random day, this happens to be 10-1, October 1st. Dynamic trend bands cross, swoosh to the downside. They continue with still matching color. They change here a little bit, crossover in a weak move. The minute they match colors again, they're down on the downside, crossing over again here, but matching colors here, crossing over. Here's the crossover right here on the dynamic trend bands. Up they go. Big up move now. One of the rules that we use is when the dynamic trend band spread gets a little wide here, like over 5 points, you can see it's measuring 275, huge spread up here. That's usually a peak point. Boomerang gives a signal for a sell channel. You can go short in this price right here, and the pullback, the sig line, dynamic trend bands cross here, but there's always was a huge fast move. So a lot of times they're going to reverse when that happens. Still, they gave you a good measure for down move. Here they crossing again to the upside. Let me get back to, they cross right here, huge move to the upside. The dynamic trend bands alone are worth $5,000 for us. I could build a whole system around them, which I have in a sense, but they're just a bonus feature of reading the direction of the market. Remember, that's the name of my seminar today. How to read the stock indexes like a professional, how to really read the market like a book. The dynamic trend bands are a big factor. Here they are crossing over here as the market's peaking. Down they go. They're matching all the way down here. There's a slight crossover here, but then notice this. When they cross over, market screams higher, jumps back. But the minute they're matching again, you're getting yellow dots, signals to go short, and down they go with the TTBs crossing again down here for a big move lower. This is another one of those crazy volatile days. Same thing, matching again, down they go. Right when they cross over, right here, is when the market starts taking off to the upside again. Here they are crossing again here, down they go. This is so valuable to have this information every day to know exactly where the market's going. The candles are painted red, so you already know in advance to be on the short side. Say you get short in here and you're holding short, now you see the dynamic trend bands cross match color. For those of you who want to catch those bigger moves, Boomerang is designed where you can do that simply by following the dynamic trend bands all the way down until they cross over dynamic trend band number 2, and that's where the bias changes. They cross each other and the market starts taking off to the upside again into the close. This was a random day. It happened to be October 1st down here. I saw that, and every single swing trade move was caught by the dynamic trend bands. Anyway, as posted here, you just go, this will only, Boomerang Day Trader will only work on NinjaTrader, sir. It was designed on NinjaTrader exclusively for that. It will not work on TradeStation. We can't import it to TradeStation. We tried some years ago, but I couldn't hide the code enough. And, you know, you protect your copyrighted work, you got to hide the codes and all that. Otherwise, it's a little bit riskier. Anyway, I could scroll over these perpetually, and you can see the dynamic trend band catch all the swing moves for those who love to grab these trades and hold them. It's pretty amazing. I don't mind scrolling through charts. You can see it, all these yellow lines. All you're looking for really, if the Cobra, this dotted line here, changes red or green, changes red, you trade a pullback sig line. Down they go for scalping. If they shoot up higher and form what I call a fat channel, we avoid those. Here's the Cobra changing red here. Channel opens, pullback sig line, down they go. Cobra changes color, new channel, pullback sig line, they shoot instantly higher. This is instant gratification on most of these trades. We do them in the room every day. Instant gratification. Traders are amazed. I get in, we're out 2-3 minutes sometimes 2-3 seconds. I'm serious. Just in, bam, and you get those crazy moves like this one. New channel opens, dynamic trend band matches with the Cobra, pullback to the sig line, down they go. This is not a trade here. Why? Cobra is blinking red and green quickly. Dynamic trend band just barely changing, and you got a steep dynamic trend band here. Our rule, don't trade against it. However, you just wait a little bit here. All of a sudden, the DTBs, the Cobra, everything matches. Pullback sig line, stronger move. The downside, Cobra changes green. New channel opens. Pullback sig line here. These blue dots, they're alarmed and they print instantly in a millisecond right on the line. You just go over here and click buy at the market. That's all we use is buy at the market, sell at the market, and close. We don't use a complicated dome or anything. Buy, sell, close on Boomerang. Trade to the sig line, up they go. New channel opens, Cobra changes to red, dynamic trend band is red. You trade at the sig line. This one probably got stopped out. I don't mind saying that. There was whipsaw, heavy whipsaw here. They whipsawed. Well, let's see. I'd have to have my cursor on. I don't want to do it now because we're almost done with the presentation. Dynamic trend bands crossing. Even if you got stopped out, so what? You see the line change red again. They go lower. They pull back the sig line. Now you've got the dynamic trend bands cross. You trade a pull back to the sig line. Even though the dot's not there, it only print on the first 6 candles after the opening channel, but you can still trade the signal, the pullback line. Huge move to the downside. And then same thing. They cross here. This is a swing trader's dream come true. My dynamic trend bands with Boomerang Day Trader are a swing trader's dream come true. Scalper's paradise. New channel here, green Cobra, pullback sig line with all 3 lines matching color, screams higher. See that? Here's a reversal. The dynamic trend bands change color. The Cobra changes channel. Color, new channel, pullback signal line, instant sense gratification, instant trade gratification too. Boom, as they go lower. You got to be careful when you're trading with Boomerang not to get too elated. I have people call me. I've had 10 traders in a row, 10 winning trades in a row today. What do? I go, take the day off, quick. Don't get too elated. Take the day off and go do something you like. Go work in the garden. Go golfing. Go out and have a couple drinks. Go watch the game. I don't know, whatever it is turns you on. Just go do that and get away from these screens and charts. This is about lifestyle. Make quick winning trades and get your lifestyle. A red Cobra change, new channel, prices trading under the dynamic trend under 2, pullback signal line marked right here, boom. Instant, no pressure against the entry, instant prices falling off, instant 3 to 4 points. So that's Boomerang Day Trader and everything here. And I've run about 1 hour on the presentation now, and I know you guys have been seeing presentations most of today and everything. I sure appreciate it a lot. And if you have any further questions, this is the beginning, not the end. If you have any further questions, just go to Mohan at Day Traders Action. I'll type that in. I think if I type it in, it'll work too. This is my default email. Where you can write. I work around the clock. Sometimes I'm up till 2 in the morning, and then I'm up at our time on the West Coast, 6:25, a couple hours later to do the room all day. There it is. Just email me anytime. I work around the clock and weekends. My vocation is my vacation. I epitomize that wonderful statement I heard long ago when I was first studying Anthony Robbins and all the brilliant motivators, Tom Hopkins in the sales field, all these brilliant, too many to mention, going back to the founding fathers of positive motivation. But the one thing I heard that I always loved, and that is when you become a winner in life and in trading or in business, your vocation is your vacation. Yeah, you got to get time off, especially from these crazy markets, but you just, you can go to a beautiful island and look at the sunset and everything, but my beautiful island sunset is looking at all these gorgeous rainbow colored charts every day and capturing these points on the trades, getting in the action, having some fun, and trying to assist traders to also join me in doing the same thing. So with that, I want to thank you very much for joining with me today. And again, thanks for listening through our stuff here. If you have any questions on this complex material or the simple things here, just go to our blog or email me, and I'll be glad to help you in any way I can. So have a wonderful rest of the evening, and I'll be signing off now. Yana, thank you so much. Raleigh, you're the guys who are the greatest. Thanks for setting me up here. And good to be back with TradingPub. I've done a few presentations a couple of years ago, so it's great to be back. And thank you so much.